Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and welcome to another Craft Day Monday, where every Monday I post a new video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I made this little Jeep out of a cardboard box. So I'm going to be making this Jeep with cardboard box. I'm going to be using felt, but you can use any color felt you want. I am going to be using hot glue sticks. I'm going to be using a wooden dowel, and this is 6 inches, and I'm going to be using this little wooden bead. You're going to be needing, I got this reflector paper. I'm not sure exactly where I got this, where this came from. My husband bought it to me and asked me could I use it. And I also have these little wood chunks that I am going to be using. My husband cut these out of some scrap wood, and this is what I'm going to be using. And you're going to need a pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera down so y'all can see what I'm doing. So, I'm sorry that my light look a little funky. It's just because of the cardboard I'm using. So what your first thing you're going to do is you want to draw your shape of the Jeep that you want. So this is the basic shape that I went with. So all I did was I'm going to grab a Sharpie so y'all can see. So what I'm going to do is I am basically just going to draw the shape of the Jeep that I want to make. Then you're just going to go across, and then you're going to go down, and you're going to come back up, then you're going to go over, and then you're going to bring this down a little bit to a curve, and then we're just going to go over. You're going to make your wheels. Then we're going to keep going, and you're going to make another loop. And here we have the shape of our Jeep, and you're going to do that twice. And once you do that and cut it out, this is what it's going to look like. So this is what it's going to look like. And this is 11 inches long this way, and your measurements may be a little bit different from mine because it all is based on the size of the Jeep that you draw. So I can give you my measurements, but yours may be slightly different depending on how big you draw your frame on your paper. So once you get this cut out, what you're going to do is you're going to take your felt, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to draw, or you're going to trace this shape onto your felt. And when you shape it, this is what it's going to look like. So this is the shape that you should have. And what we're going to do is going to go ahead and take this, and we're just going to lay this on. And if you need to stretch it a little bit, you can. This is why I like working with felt, because you can stretch it and it gives a little. So now I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue this in place. And when you do this part, you want to work kind of quick, but don't rush it because your hot glue is going to dry pretty fast. So now we're just going to finish gluing this in place. Grab a glue stick. And all we're going to do is continue to go around. And then we're just going to glue this in place. And once you have it glued in place, this is what it should look like. And by now, you are going to need 2. So this is what they're going to look like. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set these to the side. So now that we have the felt glued onto these and set to the side, what we're going to do is I cut another piece of cardboard, and this is 4 3/4. And once again, your measurements may be slight off than mine. It just depends on how you draw it. Once again, it all depends on the size you want your Jeep to be. So now what we're going to take our piece of cardboard and we're just going to go ahead and bend it. And I got some cardboard that's got the ridges in it. That way it gives a little. So now I am going to bring my Jeep back. And this is what we have, these two here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and start gluing this onto here and gluing it into place. And just so everyone knows, I was inspired to make this Jeep. I came across a woman that had on YouTube, and I can't really think of what her name is. But I seen her Jeep and I thought that was pretty cute, and I made one, and then I posted it in my crafting group, and I was asked if I could do one, even though there's one that was posted. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone. I just thought the Jeep was pretty cute, and I just wanted to give it a try. So now we're just very slowly going around, and we're just gluing this on here, and we're just going to go ahead and hold this and let it dry, and then you're going to go ahead and gluing it. So once you get your 2 sides done, you want to take your folded piece of cardboard and you want to bring it up like this, and this is going to be the trunk, or the hood. And then you want to take another one, and this one is 4 3/4, and this is going to go back here. So now we're just going to go ahead and glue this in place. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on both sides. I did change up a few things in the Jeep that I'm making than the one that I seen. I'm just adding a little more, I don't know, I'm just adding some more extra stuff to it. So there's that. Now, once it dried, this is what it should be looking like. I'm trying to get this all in the camera. So this is what we have so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I have another piece of cardboard that I have here, and here is the shape that you're going to need. I already cut my ends out for and it's going to go down just like this. So now that I have it turned over, I am going to go ahead and put it this way, and I'm going to mark off what I need to cut. So I'm just making sure this is all on, and then I'm going to mark it. So we're going to go ahead and glue this in place. So I'm just putting a little bit of hot glue right under here, And now we're just going to take that hot and put this down right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everything is nice and even. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on to hold it here. And then when it dries, we'll cut off the parts that we don't need. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of hot glue right here. And now I'm going to take my scissors and we're just going to cut off the edges. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Do the other side. Cut here, turn it over, cut here, and that's it. Let's move that out the way. So now this is what we have. This is what you should have so far. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the end back here, because I totally forgot about this one. So now all the ends are cut off. This is what we have. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take another piece of cardboard and we're just going to put it right up in here. So I have my cardboard, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a random piece because I'm not sure exactly what size I need it to be. So once you cut your piece of cardboard out, you're just going to go ahead and stick this in, just like this. And I'm just going to turn this way so I can see if I need to make any changes. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this in here. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this. We're going to go ahead and put some hot glue on and glue this in place. So now once you get this glued inside, this is what you should have so far. Now we're going to take another piece of cardboard and we're going to just make the seat. And I'm just going to go ahead and just cut a little bit off. And once again, I might use this. Once again, your measurements are going to be it's all going to be based on the size of your G. And I'm going to put this down a little bit. And I'm just going to put this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue right down through here, just like that. And I'm just going to push this up against there. And I'm just going to hold this here and let that dry. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some hot glue on the sides just to help hold it. And I'm just going to turn this my way so I can see how it's looking. There we go. Now I'm going to hold this and let this dry. I'm just going to go ahead and actually add a little bit of hot glue, just in case. So this is what we have. Now we're going to make the seat. Once again, we're going to be using cardboard. So I am just going to go ahead and cut. And I'm cutting some more. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this to see about what size I want my seat to be. So now that we have our seat cut, I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm going to go about right here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue right on here. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this on here just like this. And I'm just going to hold this here and let it dry. Pull this up a little bit. And I like to just hold it and facing me so I can make sure that everything is nice and even. So I'm just holding this here for a minute. Now I'm going to take a piece for the front. And I have a piece cut here, and I'm just going to see how well this is going to work. Or I'm going to need to cut another piece. So I'm just going to take some scrap cardboard, and I'm just making this up as I go, because I'm not really exactly taking measurements. It's just a trial and error. And this is what that's going to look like once I glue it in place. So I'm going to put some hot glue on the bottom. And then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue right across the top. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and stick this in place. So now this is what we have. So here is the seat glued in place right there. So I'm going to turn this back around. Now I'm just going to take another piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. And I'm going to see what I just basically cut a little rectangle piece, triangle. And we're just going to stick this down in here. I'm going to turn it this way. So now this is what we have, and I'm just going to go ahead, and for this part we're just going to cover that in felt. So I'm just going to leave that as is, and we're just going to go ahead and move to the next step. So now what we're going to do is I am going to take my wheels, and we're just going to go ahead and glue these in place. So what I'm going to do is take my hot glue, and I'm going to just measure where I want my wheel to be. And I want my Jeep to set up pretty high. So I'm just going to go ahead, take some hot glue, put it right on the wheel. And you want to use a good amount. And we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to hold this just like that. And we're going to go ahead and let that dry. So I'm just going to hold this here and let that dry. And we're going to do this all the way around the Jeep. So now your wheels are glued in place. This is what we should have. So now we're going to make the little fenders that go over the tires. So I'm going to set this to the side. And I have one. I've already went ahead and covered these in felt. And this measures out at 5.5 inches. Sorry about that. So now we're going to take our felt. And we're just going to go ahead and wrap our felt around this cardboard. So you want to put a good amount of cardboard on the back. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick this right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a little more hot glue right down on here. And I'm just going to go ahead very carefully and roll this and put this right over it. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the extra felt. There we go. Set this to the side. Now we're going to take some hot glue and we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue down in this opening. Now we're going to seal the other end. And this is what we have. So now you should have 4. So what I'm going to do is take it and fold it in just a little bit and do this on both sides. And this is just going to help me bend it to get it over like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to all of them. So we're just going to bend it, and now we're going to keep going, bend it over, and now we have 4, and these again are going to be for the fender. So we're going to just go ahead and glue them over just like this, which is going to go like this. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and we're just going to go ahead and put some hot glue right on the end all the way around like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this. If I turn it down, you won't be able to see. So what we're going to do is just going to go ahead and stick this on here just like this. And I'm just going to hold this here. I'm going to take this up a little so it's not directly on the wheel. And I'm just going to hold this here for a minute and allow it time to dry. And you're going to do this all the way around. I'm going to put a little more hot glue down through here. And I'm just going to hold that right here. Just like this. Let that dry. And we're going to do this all the way around the whole vehicle. So this is what we have so far. This is what it's looking like. Now, what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and start covering it in felt. So I'm just going to grab some pieces of felt that I already have cut. And we're just going to go ahead and cover. I'm just going to move this out the way. I'm going to grab my scissors and we're just going to cut. Now, YouTube may consider this a crafting video for kids, and if that's the case, they're going to cut my comments off, so you won't be able to leave a comment. So what I'm doing now is basically I am just going to go ahead and measure this. And I don't think I'm going to cut off any. I may have to cut off some of the extra. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a little cut. And I'm just going to start here. And I'm just going to give this a little stretch. Now. And I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue down through here. And I'm just going to do a little bit under. And we're just going to take this and we're just going to tuck it under. Just like this. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this down. So now you should have it looking like this. Your front should be covered. And now we're going to go ahead and so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cover this whole thing in felt. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting little pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and just cut off the little pieces to just glue in here. And all I'm doing as of right now is basically I am just cutting, and then I'm just making sure that it's even, that it's going to fit. And if I need to trim off a little, I can. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. So we're going to stick this in here, down here, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead, the rest that's overlapping, we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue down through here, put a little bit at top, and we're just going to fold it. And this is, I'm going to try to make this where it's not too long of a video, so I may be doing a part 2 just to finish up the details. And I will just post, you know, of what I have done so far. Now we're going to go ahead and take a piece and we're going to just cover the seat. So I'm going to give this a little tug. I'm just going to put this here. Turn it around to see how it looks. And I'm just going to cut off the extra. And I honestly, when I'm crafting, I don't really do measurements. I just kind of eyeball it or just go with what feels right. So what you see me do now is just going to cover that. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this on. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. Come on, Coco. Okay, you have to go back here. There you go. Good girl. Sorry, Coco had to make an appearance. If you've been following me been with me for a while on my channel, you will know that Coco likes to be seen. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And then we're just going to go ahead and cover the bottom. So basically what we're doing is basically covering the entire Jeep. So I'm going to go ahead and finish covering. So now that we have everything covered in felt, the whole Jeep, this is what it looks like. And I'm thinking this is going to be a good place for me to stop for now. And I will be doing a part 2. I'm going to set this one to the side. And in part 2, I will be showing you how I put the roof, the trunk, the hood on. Sorry. I will show you how I put the hood on. I will show you how I gave it little details like the steering wheel, the little radio, the antenna, and the seat covers. Yeah, so, and I'll be in the next video, I'll be showing you how I did all of that. But yeah, I don't want this video to be super long, so we're just gonna stop here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera back up. So once again, this is what we have so far, and I am most likely going to definitely have to do a part 2 because this video is probably already long enough. So if you like this video so far, please give me a like and a thumbs up. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to become part of my YouTube family. And with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. But before I close out, I just want to let y'all know that I don't know if YouTube is going to consider this a toy or a video for a kid, and if that's the case, they are going to turn off my comments. But if you want to ask me anything, you can do so on my Facebook page, and yeah, just search me up and you'll find me. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a very nice night, and once again, please stay tuned for part 2. Bye.